Hello, everyone, and welcome to another. Well, this is basically the Echelon and the Cycling Day and Extra slash podcast doing a collab for the end of the Tour de France 2024. And I'm joined by Mr. Gregor himself, Ewan Wilson, the professional cycling journalist, and also Patrick of Audu Cycling. And today we're doing a tier list of the Tour de France of the teams. And I mean, Ewan, what is a tier list?
Well, a tier list is this system of ranking. We have five different categories. At the top, we have legendary. This is for the best teams in the Tour de France. Remember, we are comparing and ranking each team that competed at the Grand Boucle in 2024. Below that, we have better than expected. These are for the teams that surpassed our expectations before the race. In the middle, it's mid. These are the teams that, just kind of went back and they hit all of their targets pretty much and were just sort of they were there and suitable in the race. Meh goes for teams that underperformed. Definitely underwhelming us. And finally, the bottom, were they even here? These are for the teams that were definitely lackluster. Were they? I mean, were they even on TV? Did they even get any objectives and goals? We will discuss that. So, with these teams, I believe we've teed up Spanish team Movistar to open things up.
Were they even
Oh,
here? There we go.
I mean,
It's
I
such a
saw
fall from
Mass.
grace. This team was on the podium with Valverde and Quintana one time, and here we are. They couldn't even get a stage victory. They haven't had a victory for a very long time. Enric Mas had absolute disaster. The stage nine stage where they had three riders up in the break and didn't even win the stage. I thought that was quite a fitting Movistar of this year's Tour de France.
I think Movistar were decent in the breakaways. Lascano was up there. Aaron Brewer was super active. Mass as well in the breakaway. Mulberger rode a decent race, but I think I, maybe
Meh
Matt.
is fine. I'll
I
go
think
with
Yeah,
Meh as well. So Meh, I'll concede.
yeah, they contended enough,
yeah. Like
but
they were
maybe their
visible enough.
legacy carries them.
Like I saw their riders. They might not have done crazy good, but they were certainly in the race. There you go. That's as good as you're
That's
gonna
such a
get.
damning.
This is the
They
bar
were
I
in
am
the
setting.
race. Yeah, okay, fine. We can do Sugdal quick step now. I wasn't expecting it here, but yeah, thanks for the random order. Remco Evenepoel, I don't know if you guys knew this. First ever Belgian to win the white jersey is because the white jersey was in 1975, and Eddie Merckx, of course, didn't qualify for it back then. Stage win as well. Alain Disimo is alive. He only does well when he's the side piece, not when he's the main thing.
I'm trying to decide whether this is mid or better than expected because I think we all
What?
said
Whoa, whoa. I thought I was thinking legendary or better than
legendary.
expected.
Bro, we said before this, like I think
Mid.
everybody look, we were everybody expected Remco to get that TT victory. That wasn't a surprise.
Yeah, but the
Like
third place, we were all like, oh, he's
yeah,
probably gonna drop
exactly.
out in the third week and then chase breakaway
Yeah.
stages.
Yeah. So that's why I'm probably leaning towards better than expected because Remco's performance, we all said in like our previews or whatever, we said a lot of times we thought Remco would be about eighth, and he wasn't. He was third. So yeah, I think this is a better than expected performance, mainly from Remco, but also yeah, Landa finishing fifth place was a very underrated performance in this whole race. I think.
Yeah, Landa fifth was underrated. Almeida fourth underrated. We'll get to that later. But I think better than expected. I had Remco down as having a big old breakdown. And he didn't do that. And he still got a stage win. It's decent. In fact, it's probably pretty good. This is Soudal's first Tour de France podium. Lotto Destiny. Hmm.
Stage window.
Yeah,
Honestly,
Yeah.
so close. I so wanted him to. Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
never
if
happened.
Deli got like Deli was doing really well in that first week, but just kind of seemed to just drop off as the race went on. Like I really thought he'd be up there in that Barcelona stage 18 where Campenaerts won. I really thought he'd be up there with that. Obviously, they won that stage anyway, so it didn't really matter. It's mid to better than expected. I did think that they would be fighting for a stage win, but I thought it would be from like Van Hills, to be honest.
Hmm.
Um, Obviously, the thing that people remember from his performance is his collision with Capio, but I don't know. I don't think I can put them in better than expected when Sudal Quickstep are there.
I think this, yeah, I agree. I think mid is fine. They got a stage win. It's been a while since they had a stage win. That's fair. Um, the lead was fine, but the lead is like, you know, I'm kind of expecting the lead to be right up there now. I mean, Van Gils was just not really there at all. Brent van Meer, not really in breakaways either. Cedric Burris had a pretty decent classic season and was just kind of gone in this race. Lotto were fine. They were very fine, and they got if they hadn't have got that stage win, I think they would be lower.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Um, yeah, Visma Leasebike. Of course, they had Sepp Kuss with COVID before the tour. Jonas Vingegaard coming up back after his injury, and I mean a stage win from him and a second place, and up there in the mountains. I
Yeah,
would almost say better than expected because I wasn't expecting this from Vingegaard, if I'm honest.
this is a team that won all the Grand Tours last year.
Yeah, but the
This is mid.
context here, like Vingegaard, we were saying, well, should he even be at the tour?
If Vingegaard wasn't fit enough, he wouldn't have been here.
And
Yeah.
Jorgensen as well. Jorgensen in top 10.
Yeah, yeah. And then
Okay, fine.
I think George Jorgensen had a pretty decent race, almost won on Isola. And then Kelderman was trying to go for stage wins as well. Bart Lemon was in the breakaway on that stage to Barcelonette.
And wow.
And wow, I mean, where was wow?
God.
I mean,
Yeah.
Wow,
Wow.
White was pretty anonymous in this tour. A couple of top fives in sprints, but absolutely zilch on hill stages. This goes down as Wout's poorest Tour de France. It's now been 2 years since he last won a tour stage. Sorry to rub it in.
I'm sure you take no pleasure in that.
Got any more statistics?
Look at that evil smile.
But I mean, Vingegaard still came second. I think better than expected because I
Yeah.
mean, we can't poo-poo a team for getting. But then again, this is Visma who not too long ago
Yeah.
won a gazillion Tour de France stages with almost every rider in their roster,
Yeah.
and they won all the Grand Tours last year. Would Kuss have made a difference? No. Vingegaard
Yeah.
would still have lost the race.
Yeah,
The thing
true.
is, I think their performance is like for a team, it's better than expected. But if you were to just take this as a Visma Lisa bike comparison, it would be mid because they are better than what they did in this race, personally. But I think that in this context that we're putting it in, I think it's better than expected.
But like now, okay, so yes, they got second at the tour. They didn't really get anything from the Giro once Outbrooks and Coy were out. What did they do for the Vuelta? Because they've got to try and leave this year in a high note. So I think there'll be a lot of pressure in that team to try to really attack the Vuelta because this wasn't a convincing Visma Lisa bike performance. I'll be honest.
No.
It wasn't like the Visma performances we've had under the Jumbo name. And also, I mean, UAE blew them out of the water this year.
But we said that was going to happen. It was kind of like
Yeah.
the Avengers against.
Yeah, but then like other teams did still try to get involved and animate the race in their own way, but Visma just looked like a bit formless at this year's tour. I'm even sort of putting them down here, but I mean we can't put them in mid, I don't think.
No, I think that's too harsh. Intermarche, legendary. Well, Biniam Girmay, legendary.
I mean,
Green
yeah,
jersey, 3 stages. Everyone was against him. I never said no.
I
Okay,
mean,
well, congratulations, Scott. You
yeah, well
believe
done.
and you've now received. Um, also, can I also point out that Mike Turnison won the most forgotten about award at the Tour de France, which is the best teammate award. He got that for the second week of racing, and that's like 9,000 euro in the bank.
That's 9,000.
Yeah, it's well, there's an article in Cyclist.co.uk where I talk about it, but
How
it's
does
it's
how
like
does one
not
win this?
appreciated. No one knows who gets it. They just like introduced it a couple of years back.
It's like
The
5 grand for the Henri de Grange prize, and that's actually hard.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not 9,000 euro, but it is a couple thousand euro. Anyways, Intermarche,
Anyway.
good job.
Yeah, fair play Intermarche. It was a good performance.
Yeah, I mean, Biniam Girmay, very good. Points classification, everything, 3 stages. Israel Premier Tech. I mean, Pascal Ackermann and Derek G, they're big cards. Full Sang up there sometimes. Had to mention him. But I don't know.
To be fair,
I always
Hosek
want to
had a
say
good
meh.
trip.
What?
Nobody remembers lower end of the top 10 as Vinokurov always says.
I don't know. I think it was mid. I think
Okay.
Derek G finishing top 10 was pretty good, even if he did lie and say that he was going to go for stage wins.
Apparently to
I
Ewan, so yeah.
Yeah, Ackerman was actually good again, which was kind of odd and yet quite surprising and good to see. The rest of the team, I mean, Stevie Williams, I expected more from in this race, to be honest with you, especially like in those opening 2 days. I don't know what happened there, but those are days which I really had bookmarked for him. But I just think it's a completely mid performance. It was all right. I saw them.
I really agree on the point about Stephen Williams. I thought he was going to bring more,
Yeah.
but Pascal Ackermann became that hero when you least expected him, and I ended up sort of becoming an Ackermann born again believer at this Tour de France. He was sprinting well, but I think this is actually better than some of the tours that Israel Premier Tech have given us in the past.
Yeah, I
Their
mean,
first ever
GC
top 10 in
result.
GC.
Yeah, GC result is quite impressive.
Yeah, but then again, anyways, Uno X, Jonas Abramson. I would like to report a crime. Hello, is this the police? Yes, yes. The Nice police, please. I'd like to report a crime that Jonas Abramson has been robbed of the combativity, super combativity prize. An Ecuadorian going by the name of Richard Carapaz has seemed to won that, and it's not his. It's been stolen from Abramson.
Yeah, literally.
Fair enough.
Literally, I put it in our group chat. Like I was like, I can't believe it. Once again, for a second year in a row, whoever decides this competition, I'm convinced has some sort of dementia because they only remember the last week of racing and they just seem to forget that Abrahamson was one of the most visible people in the first half of the race, let's say. I just can't believe that they gave it to Carapaz for like a few days in the breakaway at the end. Very similar to how they gave it to Campanarts at the end of last year for a few attempts to go in the breakaway, which we were also furious about last year. And I can't believe it's happened again. In terms of their performance, though, Abrahamson did kind of carry this team, to be honest.
But yeah, but I also expect a little bit more from this team potentially.
Odd Christian Eichen. I didn't even know he was in the race, to be honest. Tobias Halli Hannesson tried a lot, but nothing really came off it.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, Magnus Cort as well.
Yeah, true. Was in the
Him,
breaks in the wrong stages for the most times. Like,
yeah. But yeah, apart from
Nah.
Abramson, it's really hard to sort of praise this team. Fine.
Yeah, but they really need to be up there in like that stage 9, like the gravel stage. I don't know how they were out of
yeah.
that with their complete ruler team built around basically like Trobro Leon. Like, I don't get how
Mm.
their Trobro Leon team missed the gravel stage. Actually, you've convinced me. This is meh. Abrahamson's many kilometers of a break cannot haul this team into mid.
Ooh, RKO.
They got a win.
Yeah,
Oh,
Vauclain. You
I
forgot.
can't believe you forgot Kevin Votkolan's
Yeah,
victory.
San
It was a
Luca
long
win.
time
That
ago,
was
to be fair.
amazing.
um, I was busy that day. I completely forgot. I watched. It was
Oh
the part of
dear.
the race, and I forgot it happened. But yeah, Kevin Vogler, yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah,
Demar getting relegated.
How far does the victory of Votkolan raise them up out of were they even here?
I mean,
Whoa. I
No,
thought we
basically,
were going
no,
from mid
it's
to
not.
mid. I didn't
Yeah,
think we
exactly.
were
But
going from
yeah, but does the stage win elevate them 1 tier or 2?
I think
uh
it's. I think I'm gonna fight their corner. They've been in the Tour de France for 10 years, and they finally got a stage win by the Norman
you want
regenerated
better than expected.
Alexei Latsenko. So I'm gonna say this is mid.
Okay,
I
fine.
mean, fair. They are kind of on the same level of Lotto Destiny. They got a win, and they were kind of visible in other ways.
However, I will take a bullet here. Cofidis bottom tier. Um,
I can tell you,
I I've never
Brian
followed.
Kokar winning most points in the intermediate sprint, if anyone cares about that.
It's not the Giro.
And
It's
who
not the
cares about that,
intermediate
Scott?
sprint prize.
This is Brian Cook. He does this every year. He always wins. He always manages to finish top 5 in the points classification, despite the fact he can't finish top 8 in an actual sprint finish. Come on. But I mean, Guillaume Martin was doing this yo-yo thing, but at this point, he's looking like a tribute act of himself.
Yeah.
And like seriously, who else was in this team? They had a better Giro than the Tour. Zimo Geschke was here. Was he?
I think they
I
had a
saw
better
him
Tour.
on the final stage in the time trial. That was it.
I think
Everyone gets televised on that stage, Scott. It's not. It's a time trial.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
I
That was
think
the
they had a
first time
better
I
Tour
saw
de
him on the
l'Ain.
final stage.
I think they had a better Tour de l'Ain than Tour de France, to be
Oh
honest.
yeah,
Real,
true.
real.
Um,
I also do not like their special jersey, but I
no.
know they're going to bring it back for the Vuelta.
Oh no, they will do.
Okay.
One thing I can remember somebody doing from his team is when Axel Zingler bunny hopped Mads Pedersen on stage 5. That is what I remember Cofidis doing in this race.
Astana, Kazakhstan, soon to
Mission,
be XDS.
Oh,
mission complete.
mission
Yeah,
complete. It did it.
they did do it, and I mean, we all doubted them.
Yeah. Well, no, to be fair, I said in the preview that I thought Cav was going to do it. I
Well,
think considering that we've got Archaea in mid, I don't think we can put Astana in Meh. We have to put them on the same tier,
yeah, I mean,
especially that the victory meant more.
yeah, and I think as well because it was a sprint stage from a rider that isn't necessarily as young, and they put him to the race, and he got so much media time. They were a really nice team to work with as well on the ground. They were super friendly, super nice, and I really appreciate that. So yes, mid. We're not a biased podcast. Groupama Française déjà.
Uh,
Hmm.
That we could
um,
do. Can't do anything anymore, apparently.
We all know
Valtteri
what David
Matuaz,
Couture can
nowhere.
do.
Lenny Martinez, yeah, a bit
Lenny
unfortunate.
Martinez is a time trialist now.
Yeah, yeah. He was in the hot seat for quite a long
Yeah,
time on stage 21.
Yeah, what was up with that?
I don't know. Tarol Tejada is a time trialist. There you go. That's
Yeah,
also a
top
hot
8.
take from us. I don't really remember Groupama doing anything. I remember Martinez being in the
Stefan
hot seat.
Kuhn with a mechanical in the time trial. Very
Yeah.
Stefan Kuhn.
I remember Genietz being in the break. Pasher did a decent TT at the end. It was just kind of like a bit of kind of bits and bobs kind of thrown together. No real outstanding performance, to be honest. It was just a bit meh, unfortunately.
Oh, not were they even here? Because I'm tempted to put them there,
Oh really? You don't to put them there. Why
but
you what
maybe
do you
that's
reckon
too
you
harsh.
You know when you have soup and there's lots
where
of
you go?
vegetables like blended into it, and you're having this like big old bowl of soup, and you can't really make out what the vegetables are. And you're like, damn, I wish I had salt. I wish I had pepper. You don't even have a slice of bread on the side. It's just warm sustenance for the sake of warm sustenance. That's what this feels like. There was no salt, there was no pepper, there was no bread, there was not even a little block of butter in this Groupama squad. Um, David Gaudu finished 65th in GC. This man finished 4th 2 years ago. Um, I I I think all life has been sucked out of this team.
Yeah. But I did see them quite a bit. Like they did do better than Cofidis, I think.
Okay,
I mean,
Girmay.
looking at GC, they didn't, but but
Yeah.
but also I think in terms of stage results, Confidence probably got more because they had Coquin sprinting and Groupama
Yeah,
didn't bring a single sprinter. Stupid decision.
one of the only teams that didn't, along with UAE, I think.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then Gaudu was
And
just
Sodal.
poor, and then they threw in Martinez, who wasn't ready for this race last minute.
No.
And he only got good in the final like 2 days.
Yeah.
Grégoire was pretty decent in breakaways, but yeah. Jaco, they won a stage. Dare I say the most forgotten stage winner of this race, Dylan Groenewegen.
Yeah.
Says the guy who forgot
Kevin
Auckland's
I was
win.
Voskelman's
busy.
victory.
I have an excuse. I watched the Groenewegen stage and I still forgot it happened.
Oh God. I think Jaco is just the definition. It was mid
Yeah,
for me.
Simon Yates.
Like
What could have been?
Simon Yates got good once he got over COVID after that first week. Like he was very visible in that final
Yeah,
week. He was up against Carapaz on the Col de Noye, where I was. I watched that attack. That was pretty cool. Um, but yeah, they were visible. Thought there'd be a bit more from like Michael Matthews, maybe. Groenewegen got that one victory and then was just completely AFK. Like I don't know what happened from that point onwards, but he completely just checked out every sprint. So it's just mid.
yeah. Bahrain
I
victorious.
oh, I have a bone to pick about Brian Victorious.
Were they even here?
Yeah.
Yeah, were they even here?
That feels harsh because I mean they
But
still got a couple of top tens on stages, but
and Butrago top 10.
God, if Betrago didn't get that top 10 today, they were facing
They were.
Yeah, I
like,
think so too.
but this like that has Betrago saved them. He had a pretty good final week, but okay, let's go through this list of riders. Peo Bilbao, former Tour de France stage winner. Nikias Arndt, former Grand Tour stage winner. Phil Bauhaus, good wildcard sprinter. Betrago, Jack Haig, podium finisher of the Vuelta. Matej Mohoric, three-time Tour de France stage winner. Wout Poels, Tour de France stage winner last year. Fred Wright, top 20 at almost every major cobble classic. And they,
Yeah.
I think what's underwhelming about this is that it's a really good team that flopped so hard.
It's Matt or were they even here, to be honest with you. Like it
Oof.
wasn't great. But I know they had like illness, like Bilbao
Yeah.
left. Fred Wright OTL'd, I presume, because he was also a little bit cooked or ill or whatever. Did Wout Poels finish the race? I honestly just don't remember really.
This was not the same Wout Poels that won a Grand Tour stage last year. Two Grand Tour stages last year. Didn't he win a stage of the Vuelta as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
just
Meh
because
then.
I think it's
Because
mad
it's
because
harsh if top 10 and putting them in were they even here.
yeah,
Okay,
I
yeah.
can't do that when Groupama's in Meh. I can't put them below Groupama.
Okay. I
Oops.
am ready to admit that I horribly, horribly incorrect 3 weeks ago. Um, I
What was
sat.
this? What did you say 3 weeks ago? Wasn't it like this is the strongest team that can rival UAE? It's stronger than
Let's
Visma.
get a clip of it.
I think this is actually a really, really good Grand Tour team, and I think we're overlooking it greatly overlooking it. If it weren't for UAE, I think this would be the best team.
I definitely stand by those comments, but you know, as commentators, as journalists, whatever we are, that doesn't mean my opinion should be taken any more seriously than yours. We air out our opinions, and sometimes they date well, sometimes they date badly. In this case, this dated terribly. I said Mateo Sobrero was going to be an absolute standout of this race. He was not. Sasha Vlasov got concussion and was put back in a bike when he shouldn't have been, and then somehow managed to finish that stage. Roglic crashed. Water's wet. This happens. Roglic crashed twice pretty heavily.
Is this team Meh?
Yeah, I think meh.
Is this
I
Meh?
am going to agree.
You don't get
Oh
anything
no,
for
it's
you don't get
Meh.
anything for being in fourth place early on in the race.
Ooh,
Wait, when were they in fourth place?
No, with Roglic. I think it was fourth or
Oh yeah,
third.
sorry.
this feels savage, but it's
They
so
didn't win a
true.
stage.
Yeah,
They
it's
should have won a stage. This was a super team. Like,
Yeah. To be
and they didn't even
fair,
get where did Hindley finish? Like 18th.
yeah, I reckon if Lasov didn't get his concussion, I think he would have done quite well. I think he could have come top 10,
Yeah,
but
agreed.
obviously that didn't happen, so it didn't. You shouldn't. I don't.
Um,
I don't even get how he fell off. It was just on a straight bit of road. He just decided he had enough. And
Alpecin de Koning, who don't like grey hair.
no, they don't.
Jasper the
Um,
disaster or Jasper the master.
Oh,
this was a mid performance considering.
Mid.
Yeah,
Three stage
well,
victories. I would say I would agree with mid first week, and they had a bit of bad luck as well. But I
mm,
think they stepped up in the second week. But Matcha Van
yeah.
he was a bit missing, in my opinion, on some of the breakaway days.
I just think that I'm looking at I'm mainly comparing them to Intermarche. That's where my benchmark is. I expected more from Alpecin though going into this race, considering last year Intermarche I had much less expectations for. So I guess in terms of my expected versus reality, Alpecin goes in mid, but in terms of actual just performance, they were on the same level as Intermarche.
I was surprised at how little they went in the breakaway. But
Yeah.
I mean, 3 stage wins.
So mid or better than
Having them in the
expected?
Oh
same category as Arkea feels
no, I
rude.
can't put them in the same category as Arcade. It has to be better than expected.
Well,
Okay.
that was easy. Total.
This is
Well,
the
they won
one
a
we
stage.
poo-pooed. We poo-pooed this team very much. We said they weren't even going to be, they were going to do
Oh,
nothing. They weren't going to appear. And
yeah, this is one of the pure. This is one of like the really fantastic victories I think of the whole tour. Was seeing Turgis getting his victory for Total Energies. I think that was one of the ones which I enjoyed the most. That was a brutal day. Probably could arguably be my favorite stage of this race was stage 9.
Step
I,
Crass, Ewan talks him up quite a lot. And
yeah,
I think he finally got his top 15 place, maybe?
He finished in 16th in the end.
Oh,
ah,
Actually, you know what? Better than expected. They won a stage. We didn't expect it. This like role reversal of Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe.
yeah, I
They won
agree.
a stage. We didn't expect it. Matteo Verche came second to Barcelonette when
mm,
no one thought he would.
Oh,
Jega was great. Sandy Dujardin and they went in the breakaway in the sprint stages when no one else did.
oh,
it,
Decathlon.
from one French team to another.
I mean, this.
What would
Felix
Decathlon
Gall
do?
outside top 10. Felix Gall was outside top 10. Sam Bennett, no idea where he was. Probably still in
Bro,
Dunkirk.
bro, they were just outside the race. Where were they?
Sam Bennett got a couple of top tens, may I just point out.
Yeah, but so
But
did Turgis.
look where Total are.
Yeah, but
However, I'm going to say Decathlon are either in one of the bottom two categories. They had a fantastic beginning to the year, and they've just like fallen off. And like
who?
Gal was just not there in the mountains.
Yeah,
Um,
he went backwards in the last week, I think.
No,
yeah,
who
unlike
was he?
last year.
No,
Yeah,
Um,
true.
they
who?
threw everything in the breakaway to Barcelona and got nothing. Nos Petels looked really quite just sort of off the mark.
What a
Jeez.
day.
Awesome, I agree.
What a
Okay,
Yeah.
day.
fine. We'll do that.
Honestly.
Oh, little track.
Mass Pittelson crashing for context. Ciccone outside top 10. He was the one who got that unlucky battle between the four of them, Jorgensen, Derek G,
Mm.
and yeah, Santiago Buitrago, and he was the man who lost out and finishing 11th. Of course, he won the Pogacar jersey last year, Mass Pittelson winning stage as well.
Hmm.
This is a bit
This
of
Um,
a fall
was
from grace.
I think it is a fall from grace, given how active they were in the transfer market. They still have a good team. They had a great Giro. Meh. Jasper Stuyver came so close to winning that stage in
Yeah.
Troyes, but I'm a bit underwhelmed.
Why does Ciccone have this thing about being a GC rider? Like, for the love of God, why couldn't he just go in the breakaways? Like, that's literally what we all expected him to be, but instead he was fighting and being bitter with Boitrago about
Mm.
sticky bidons, scrapping for 10th place. It's like, my guy.
Or Carlos Verona. He rode well,
Yeah, he did.
and he gets nothing out of it.
EF Education Easy Post. The Carapaz Show, the first ever Ecuadorian to wear the yellow jersey, the first ever Ecuadorian to win a stage, the first ever Ecuadorian to win a polka dot jersey,
Okay,
and the
yeah, I mean,
Combativity Award
yeah,
that you
yeah,
guys
yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
get.
Wrongly.
Better than expected. Because, I mean, I,
Yeah.
I know they would have wanted to be up there with Carapaz. Of course, Richard Carapaz is the only climber that can stay with Pogacar and Vingegaard. As Jonathan Waters has been quoted as saying. But
Well, he did for like 10 seconds on, what was it, stage 19?
yeah, stage 20.
Yeah.
Big difference. And
Pogacar
he
win.
actually he was really good at San Luca on stage 2. He was pretty good there. Getting the yellow jersey as well, I always appreciate that. And it's harder for riders to get yellow in this day and age.
Mm.
With
Yeah.
Pogacar there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, it was it's decent from EF.
Okay, in your screen is Carlos Rodriguez, what was it, 7th place or something like that?
Yeah.
No stage wins as well. Up there in the breakaways. Okay, we can't say were they even here. They were definitely
Same.
here, but
meh.
Meh.
They were
Agreed.
meh. They were so unbelievably meh. Like they were that.
They were defending a seventh or sixth place. They were riding up front. It's like,
Yeah,
what are you doing, Ineos? This isn't.
like
You're not defending third or second.
they did what Bahrain did. Like they'd got a pretty rubbish GC position. I know Pitters came second on that stage 9, but Bauhaus did all right in some of the sprints, so he got like they kind of cancel out. So for me, Ineos is just where Bahrain is.
Ineos is Bahrain with more money.
DSM Firmenich Post NL, their Tour de France started perfectly, and then after that, not much.
Yeah, it went downhill real quick. But that happens when you have a 1-2 on day one, and then the rest of the race, you're just kind of like, well, what do we do from here?
And the
No money
yellow
in the
jersey.
GC
It's
fight.
like, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, still getting that was pretty cool. And it's Baldet in his last Tour de France. It was a young team as well. Barguil didn't go in as many breakaways as I hoped. Oscar Onley, I think, was the best rider in the breakaways later into the race, no bias. Um, yeah, he came pretty close on the stage. That Carapaz won to Super Dévoluy, I believe it was called. Um, yeah, he was pretty decent, but DSM overall, I just think we're a little bit. Jakobsen was in this race. Remember that?
Yeah, but not for long though. Yeah.
I completely
Yeah,
forgot about him being here. But yeah, he
DNF,
was
didn't he?
here. And he left no
God,
impact.
I bumped into them on the rest day, the first rest day, and they went absolutely ham on the roads of Orléans. Yeah, they were not having a rest day,
wow.
so that's
Well,
quite funny.
that might contributed. Who knows? I feel like because we've got Arkea and Lotto Destiny in mid, and we put them in there for the fact that they've got a stage win, we sort of have to put DSM up there.
Yeah. In all fairness, they haven't won a tour stage
Oof,
since Søren Carlsen and Mark
really?
Hirschi, the late Mark
2020?
Hirschi's fantastic Tour de France in 2020, I don't believe.
Well, the last team, 6 stage wins, 3 riders in top 6, the yellow jersey. Were they
Team
even here?
classification as well.
Were they even here?
We
Yeah,
can't even
best
make this
team
joke. We
category.
can't.
They have to be in
Yeah,
legendary.
absolutely destroying the race.
Yeah.
Okay, what's been your favorite and well, what should we say? Favorite and least favorite team of the tour? So this
Mm,
doesn't have to be UAE, that's the point.
Like based on vibes or just like kind of punched
Whatever
above
you
the
want,
weight.
whatever you want.
Total. I'm gonna say it. Because tradition reigns strong. We have a proper breakaway team in the Tour de France back. This is a proper team straight out of 2013. I just want to go and attack, and they won a stage. Boom, shakalaka. Steph Kras as well was good. That man was just not in a good place a couple months back, and boom. My most underwhelming team is Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe because I touted them as the second coming of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior.
I'm trying to think. I think my favorite team was Sudal Quickstep. I really rated how they tried in those last few days when it seemed like that they could have just gone, we're going to get third here, but Remco tried to get second place, and he put his team on the front, and I rated that. I rated how he gave it a go on stage 20 and stage 19. Did better than expected. Lando looked really good as well. Um, it was just a really strong performance, I think, in that from them as a GC outfit. It was really good to see. And then from the other end of the spectrum, just because I love it, Ineos, rubbish,
Knew that
absolute
was
and
coming.
utter dog. I can't believe how rubbish they were in this race. However many Grand Tours they've got amongst, and in comparison to what they're capable of and their budget is just awful where they ended up being. So
I mean, I'm gonna say my favorite team was UAE after how they used Adam Yates on 2 stages in particular in the state. Was it the gravel stage? No, it was stage 13 or the one with the crosswinds where they threw Adam Yates up in the break. I loved that and forced Visma Lease Bike to chase. And yeah, that was just very good. And then also attacking with Adam Yates instead of Tadej Pogacar and then making the bridge with Tadej Pogacar. I thought that was very good. And on the flip side, yeah, I don't know if I should say Visma Lease Bike because I felt like they were just sometimes not riding with the tacticals nous that we've seen before. And it was just like, yeah, I don't know why. Like it's leaving Bingo exposed to go and chase a breakaway stage for Matteo Jorgensen. I thought that was a bit of a rookie error when Tadogaccia had four riders around him. I just thought that was, yeah, but I can't pick them, so I'm picking AG2R. Oh no, Movistar. You have my vote because Enric Mas was nowhere in GC. Gaviria coming very close to a stage win, but it was just Oilos Kano really disappointed me. I thought he was going to win that gravel stage. Unsung hero, Niels Pollitt, absolute beast of a rider.
Unsung hero, Lawrence de Plus, because he was one of the only Ineos riders that made things spicy.
Yeah, true. Unsung hero, Axel Zingler for managing to pull off the bunny hop of the century.
Fair enough.
And not to be fair, if he didn't do that, he was going to clatter Pedersen's head.
Yeah,
which
true.
could have ended pretty badly for Pedersen.
Anyways, on that positive note, that's basically it for this special episode, contributing between the Cycling Dane Extra and also the National Cycling Podcast, which will be back from its hiatus very soon. So look forward to that. But anyways, with that, thank you very much for watching, listening, and we will see you in the next one.